What's going on, WrestleTalk friends and fans? It's Two-Title Tempest here, and because of all of you fine folk who donated to our charity stream, I have to get another stupid tattoo. So hey, thank you? No, but for real, thank you all so very, very much for donating to our charity stream this past week. It means a lot, and it goes towards a very good cause, so honestly, I cannot thank you enough. Now, how do you spell jam that jam? So now, of course, if you are unaware, this is the WrestleTalk Recap, where I break down the news and notes in the week of professional wrestling and show you anything that you may have missed across all of WrestleTalk's YouTube channels. Of course, the premier event from the last week was Quizzlemania 25, where I defended the Quizzlemania trophy against Sean Ross Sapp, Mr. Davis, and Andy Datson.
In first place with 57, Tempest, a worthy fight. You love to see it.
This is my Quizzle Kingdom.
I ran a Great O'Con gimmick. I wasn't winning.
I'm gonna need some real competition at some point, folks. We're gonna switch gears in a moment, but before we get into the match of the week, we have a word from our New Japan correspondent. Okay, Chelsea. Wrestle Kingdom 15 just happened. Which night did you like better? Wrestle Kingdom Night 1 or Wrestle Kingdom Night 2? Very interesting. Thank you, Chelsea. That's right, the match of the week is going to go to New Japan Pro Wrestling, obviously, and it will be from Wrestle Kingdom Night 2. It's Jay White challenging Kota Ibushi for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship and the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. This was the longest match in Tokyo Dome history, and what a classic match it was. A fantastic performance from both men, leading to Dave Meltzer calling Jay White possibly the ultimate pro wrestler. Tensions were high as Kota Ibushi had just won the IWGP Double Championship the night before, and it would be very much in line with his character to lose it the very next night. Of course, that ended up not being the case, as Kota Ibushi was able to weather the storm from Jay White and retain his championships in an epic main event match. This is one of the best matches I've ever seen, so I cannot recommend it enough. Go check it out. Why are you watching this still? Go check it out right now, and then come back, of course. Watch this still. Now, the show of the week is tough. I should probably give it to one or the other of the two nights of Wrestle Kingdom, but I'm just not going to do that. It's my show, and I don't care. It's going to go to Wrestle Kingdom as a whole. Across the two nights, there were 4 matches that were rated 5 stars or higher by Dave Meltzer, a showing that absolutely incredible match quality came out of these two nights. Of course, on the first night, you had excellent matches between Hiromu Takahashi and El Phantasmo for a shot at the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship the next night, which of course was won by Hiromu. Then later you had an epic clash between Will Ospreay and Kazuchika Okada, where Okada hit the Rainmaker for the first time in almost a year. It's just so much better than that stupid money clip finish. I cannot tell you how much I hate that finish. And then in the main event, another 5-star match between Tetsuya Naito and Kota Ibushi, where Ibushi finally captured the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. This was one of the most emotional title wins in recent memory in pro wrestling, as Kota Ibushi finally overcame the odds to capture the title for the first time, putting him on the same level as his former tag team partner Kenny Omega. These two were determined to just kill themselves, and I'm very glad that they didn't, because it's come pretty close in the past. Then on the second night, you had Hiromu Takahashi winning the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship from Taiji Ishimori in another very good contest. You had Shingo Takagi defending the Never Openweight Championship in another 5-star match against Jeff Cobb. This was the best performance of Jeff Cobb's career. And then in the main event, you had the aforementioned Jay White versus Kota Ibushi match, which was the best match of the year. Nothing is going to top this match. I would almost guarantee it. Switching gears now to talk about the news, a potential NXT call-up was scrapped last week as Damian Priest was supposed to debut on SmackDown. Priest was reportedly supposed to join Kevin Owens as his best friend, but both Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns pointed out that he really has no relation with Kevin Owens, and therefore it would not make sense, and so it was scrapped. It remains to be seen when exactly we will see Damian Priest arrive on the main roster, but the feeling is that his promotion is imminent. Possibly in the Royal Rumble? And another note from New Japan Pro Wrestling's greatest shows, Jon Moxley made his first appearance in almost a year with the promotion. While he couldn't appear live necessarily, he did show up in a video with the IWGP United States Championship, promising to return to the promotion and face Kenta. Again, the pandemic makes that sort of difficult, so we don't know when exactly it'll be, but it is nice to know that he hasn't been forgotten about. And moving over to this week's shows, we've already touched on Wrestle Kingdom at length, so we'll move right over to Raw, which saw the return of Goldberg. Yay! Goldberg, of course, returned as part of Legends Night, and he was kinda senile, wasn't he? Accusing Drew McIntyre of disrespecting the Legends, while Randy Orton had been doing that for the entire show. This led to Goldberg challenging Drew McIntyre for a WWE Championship match at the Royal Rumble. Boy, never seen this happen before. I do love that everybody is kind of being like, oh, you're overreacting. He's not gonna beat Drew McIntyre. And you're right, he probably won't. But we've seen this happen twice already. This is what they do. Goldberg beats people and wins the titles. It's not that crazy to think it could happen again. I love Drew McIntyre. I really don't want it to happen. Moving over to NXT, we had New Year's Evil, their special event, where Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez had an excellent last woman standing match. This was particularly brutal, with Rhea Ripley locking Dakota Kai in a locker, shoving Raquel Gonzalez through a door with broken glass going everywhere, before Rhea Ripley herself was finally choke powerbombed through the stage, being down for the count of 10. In 2 title matches on the show, Santos Escobar successfully retained the Cruiserweight Championship against Ren Metalik in a pretty good match, and in the main event, Finn Balor once again fought off Kyle O'Reilly to retain the NXT Championship. Their match really wasn't as good as it was at NXT TakeOver 31, but it's impossible for these two to have a bad match together, and thus, it was a pretty fun match. Over on the other show on AEW Dynamite, we had probably the biggest angle that we will see in quite some time. Now first, Kenny Omega and Rey Fenix had an excellent AEW World Championship match, receiving 5 stars from Dave Meltzer, and it's pretty crazy that this was maybe the 5th best match of the week. Their match was completely electric. These two worked so well together before Kenny was finally able to hit the One-Winged Angel and defeat Rey Fenix to retain the title. Now he wasn't done there, as Kenny Omega showed he was content to end the career of Rey Fenix, as he was prepared to do so before Jon Moxley made his return with a barbed wire bat, hitting Kenny Omega with it before the Good Brothers made their AEW debuts. This led to a bunch of people getting in the ring to try and stop the fighting, only for the Young Bucks to emerge and realign with their former Bullet Club partners. Bullet Club. For life. It remains to be seen what will come of this Bullet Club reunion, but with Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers teaming up at Impact's Hard to Kill pay-per-view, it seems that there are far more long-term plans at work here than you might expect. And of course, we close out the week with SmackDown, where Roman Reigns' #1 contender was determined, and it's Adam Pearce? This was some of the most unique booking WWE has done in quite a while, and Adam Pearce, while he is an authority figure, is also a very good, accomplished pro wrestler himself. While this does kind of come out of nowhere, the match at the Royal Rumble should be pretty good. Although I tell you, I did not think Roman Reigns and Adam Pearce were going to have a World Championship match in 2021, but shows what I know. Now switching gears again, as we approach the Royal Rumble, we have Adam Blampier's latest list, and that is the 10 greatest Royal Rumble matches of all time.
For the thousands in attendance, for the millions watching around the globe, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to talk about the Royal Rumble in quite a sarcastic but ultimately positive manner.
Over on Parts Fun Known, of course, we have Quizlemania 25, where you can see Ollie Davis completely lose his mind over Chad Gable.
Come on, keep going.
Why did you say Chad Gable?
I told you why. I told you why before I said it.
You don't have to say it. He doesn't live in your brain.
I do have to say it. He does live in my brain.
And then right here on Wrestle2, there was a bunch of content this week, including Wrestling Daily with Alex McCarthy and friends, Sauna Lad and I providing our live reactions for both nights of Wrestle Kingdom, and Louis Dangor interviewing EC3.
I'm definitely doing fine. I'm a very healthy individual. I take a lot of vitamin D3, a lot of vitamin C, a lot of zinc, a lot of glutamine, and that's also the cocktail I've been using to counterbalance the coronavirus. So if you want to know that, I think I put on my Instagram story. I'm also not a doctor, so don't trust me at all.
And over on Phenomena Nerds, we had another edition of Board Game Club, where the gang played Snake Oil. Beware kids, there's some naughty words in this one.
It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll, and many friendships, relationships, and bodies are left in your wake as you climb to the peak of the mountain of superstardom. So many people out for blood, out for vengeance, out for revenge. Your name is on a list of marked men, and there is only one way to distract the people who are coming for you, gunning to reclaim what you took for them to become famous. Distract them with the adorable mewings and crawlings of this revenge.
And coming up next week, we have another edition of Fan Quizzlemania. It's a ton of fun, so make sure that you are signed up for the Parts Fun Known Patreon so you can take part. Additionally, as you can already tell, the Royal Rumble content is starting to roll out as the Royal Rumble itself soon approaches. And that just about wraps it up for another edition of the WrestleTalk Recap. I've been Two-Title Tempest, reminding you to like, share, and subscribe to stay notified. Ring that bell, you'll get a notification. And of course, make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Our Instagram is @WrestleTalk.official. Our Twitter is @WrestleTalk_TV. You can follow me on Twitter @TempestWT, and I will see you next time.